In this video, we're going to show you how to install the AC condenser on your Nissan Murano located behind the front bumper. Now before starting this job, you want to go ahead and bring the vehicle down and have the AC system professionally evacuated before opening up any of the AC system. After we have evacuated the AC, we want to go ahead and remove this upper cover here. We can use our trim tool, pop out the center of the button, and then pull out the base. Lift up that cover and set it aside. Want to go disconnect our expansion tank hose here. You might lose a little bit of coolant from here. So if you want to, you can put some towels underneath the vehicle. Pull it out of the little retainer. I'm just going to tuck this aside for now. Disconnect this sensor here in the middle. It's going to be a little push tab right here. Normally you can push down with your finger and separate that. I like to use my little pocket screwdriver, little flathead, separate that. Now we'll go ahead and remove these two plastic covers right here. There's going to be a few plastic push pins just like on the upper cover. Pop out the center. There's one right here. One right here. And then we have three over here on the passenger side. Take care of those as well. Same location, just opposite side. Now that we have these two panels loose, let's go ahead and separate our hood release cable here. There's a little ball end here. I'm going to bring this over, separate that. Now that we have the ball end released there, we can use our pliers just to pinch on the little tabs right here and pull this through. Pull that cable off to the side. Pull up our trays. Just tuck that off to the side. Now we want to go ahead and remove our hood release unit here. There's going to be three 10mm bolts. There's one right here in front of the hood latch. Then the other two, they're down on top of the bumper itself. Go ahead and grab the whole unit and lift it up and out. Now our condenser is bolted to our radiator. There's going to be two 10mm bolts up top. One here on the passenger side, same spot on the other side, on the driver's side here. Now we're going to use our 10mm socket to go ahead, loosen and remove these. Now on the passenger side here, the AC lines come from the AC condenser and run through to this junction right here. There's a 10mm bolt in the middle, and these tend to be corroded and fused. So we're going to try and loosen this. Here it is. Now, even though we had the system evacuated, when we go to separate this here, you might hear a quick hiss or a pop. It's just a little bit of pressure in there, and it's not going to cause any issues. So go ahead and grab this and wiggle that up and off. Going to be an O-ring on there as well. All right, so we have this off here. Just going to pull this off and tuck it off to the side for now. And then this one here is a separate hose or line. Pop that out. Now the junction that we just disconnected on the inner portion of our engine bay, those two lines come through here, and they also connect to the front side of the AC condenser. There's a 10mm bolt holding that as well. Loosen and remove this bolt. I'll slide this over a little bit. Now I'm grabbing the lines from the inside here, and I'm just kind of wiggling these here. Is on the left side here, we're just going to push our little air diverter over, and we want to go ahead and work this out. Here is that unit right there. Down on the side here, there's going to be a sensor, our pressure switch, and then there's an electrical connector right beside it. So we're going to reach down there and want to push in on the little tab on ours. The tab is on the bottom of that harness. There it is. Go ahead and slide the AC condenser up and out. Now on our old AC condenser, we do want to go ahead and remove this switch here using a 24mm wrench. We just broke that free. Go ahead and spin that off. We are going to clean it before we install it onto the new unit, and there is an O-ring here. You want to inspect it. Let's go ahead and remove this plug right here. It's actually a 17mm, but we're able to remove it. Now this here does come with a new O-ring on it. So what we're going to do is go ahead and remove the old O-ring. And before I pop this on, I'm going to use a tiny bit of PAG oil, little AC oil on this O-ring. And put a little bit on my glove, put it on there, and then I'm going to go ahead and thread our sensor in. Go ahead and snug that down. Now we do need to separate this upper tube unit here. That's a 10mm, just like the original one. Now this wasn't tight, but we're just using the ratchet to zip this out. All right, remove that bolt. Wiggle that out together. We have the two O-rings there. Before we drop in our AC condenser, we do need to get the piping put in first. I'm going to run that through the panel and into the engine compartment. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of PAG oil now on the O-rings. And this is the AC oil itself. Just get feed this through. There we go. It's fed up to the other side. I'm going to go ahead and pop out the little rubber plugs. All right, let's go ahead and drop our AC condenser down in a position. Go ahead and lower that down. Grab that electrical connector for our switch. Now's the time to do it. If you forget this now and assemble everything, you're not going to be happy later on. So let's go ahead and plug that in. You're going to hear and feel it snap into position. Get the AC condenser lower tabs mounted onto the radiator bracket down below. All right. Next is, let's go ahead and get this tubing system set up. Going to push this down, wiggle that into position. With that PAG oil on those O-rings, it popped right into position. I'm going to get my bolt started in here. Right, that's made it up nice. I am going to use my 10 millimeter with an extension. Drop that on down there. I do want to make sure that it's just gently snug. You don't have to go super, super tight on this. Screwdriver was probably plenty sufficient. It was just that tiny bit there. All right, before we install these here, I'm going to get some PAG oil on these O-rings as well. Let's go ahead and get this inner port lined up. Then this here lines up. Go ahead and position that. Make sure that it's seated. Make sure your bolt hole lines up. I'm going to go ahead and snug this down. So I can see both sides seated. It is seated perfectly all the way around. Let's go ahead and install our screws here for our AC condenser into our radiator. Now these are screws. They're almost like self-tappers, so you know you're not going to mess anything up here. Do not tighten it. Just get it started in there. Get the other one started. Gently snug it. Do not over tighten it. You will crack the radiator. So once it bottoms out, stop. That's it. Nice and easy. Let's drop down our hood latch unit. I did source a couple replacement bolts for down below here. Ours were not in the greatest shape, so I just sourced out a pair for the bottom, matching the upper. we're just going to go ahead and tighten this down. All right, make sure those are good and tight. All right, let's go ahead and remove our radiator cap. Set that aside. Then we're going to bring our cover over. Connect our connector here. Bring our cable over. I'm going to take the ball end here, and it needs to go into this little notch. So we can actually do that first, and then just pull the cable and snap that into place. I'm going to go ahead and pop our radiator cap back on. Let's go ahead and install our plastic push pins around the perimeter here. The upper portion, we just flex this back and go underneath. Do the same on the other side, and then we'll pop in our buttons there. Now that we have the plastic cover installed, let's bring our expansion tank hose over. Slide that onto the radiator. Line this up, pop it into the little plastic retainer right here. And then don't forget to bring the clamp over like so. Now at this point here, before we install the upper cover, it's going to be easier for us to go ahead and access our fill port. And let's grab our funnel. And we'll be sure to fill this up with the appropriate coolant recommended by the manufacturer. We're going to continue doing this until it's filled up. Now at this point here, we're filled up on the radiator. We're going to go ahead and pull our fill funnel out. Might spill just a little bit there. We're going to go ahead and install our radiator cap. Next step here, you want to go ahead and start up the vehicle. Let it run for about 10 minutes. Wait for that thermostat to open up. As this circulates, the thermostat will take that coolant into the engine. It's going to pull it from here. In the expansion tank here, it will pull from the expansion unit on the left-hand side or the passenger side of the engine bay. At that point there, you want to go ahead and keep an eye on the fill or full level on this here. You don't want to open up the radiator cap when it's hot. You want to go ahead and open this up and fill it through here. And make sure that it is at that full mark. Go for a road test, maintain that full level, top it off as needed, and you're all set. Then we'll come back here and install our cover. Right, let's install our upper cover here. Lining everything up. And we'll just go ahead and get our plastic push pins installed. And just do this all the way around the perimeter. Now that we've completed the job, you want to bring the vehicle down to the local shop and have the AC system professionally recharged.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.